Something I'm reflecting on going into the new year is I spent a lot of time in my 20s trying to figure out how to do one thing, like pick a thing. I went to college, it was like pick one major. I graduated, pick one job or one career path. And as I've gotten older, I've realized how interested I am in a lot of different things. I can't just pick one thing. Every day has a different itch. Some days I'm really passionate about waking up and making music, writing songs, collaborating with people, making different genres of music. Some days I really want to write. In my free time, I make music and I write. I run a weekly newsletter in Los Angeles called NoHo Nick. I run a community for LA musicians called LA Music, and sometimes I'm writing for that or doing research for that and connecting with people. I have a job where I help people with their marketing for small businesses or startups. I work in tech. I do a lot of different stuff, and every day I get really excited about different things. I can't just wake up every day and just do the same thing over and over and over again. I think that's almost like a factory approach or something. I think growing up, I felt a lot of frustration or friction with that because I felt like I had to, if I wasn't only doing the thing that I said I was going to do, like trying to be a musician, if I didn't wake up every day and only play guitar or only make beats or only write songs, then it was like a failure. I'd feel bad, like, oh, well, I didn't do the one thing that I set out to do. So I must not be super serious about it if I'm not finding myself only working on this one thing. And I think for the first time ever, maybe, we have this opportunity, this enormous opportunity to do different stuff. Like we've gotten really good as humans at being efficient and finding ways to do the things that used to take 8 hours, do them in less time. So you don't have to sit, in the case of music, you don't have to sit in the studio for 14 hours, mixing a song. There's new tools and new ways to do these things that can free you up to go read a book or find a new hobby or a new interest. I just think that it's this like old idea. And the reason that I'm making this video, I was just talking to somebody on a video call who was kind of like beating themselves up that they didn't know what they wanted to do kind of like with the rest of their life. They're not even that old, like in their 20s. And I don't know, it just kind of made me feel like we're living in this era where we have access to all of this information and all of these tools and all of this creativity, that picking just one thing anymore is kind of an outdated idea. I don't know about you. Leave a comment down below if you feel the same thing. Like maybe you grew up thinking that you were just going to pick one thing that you were going to do for the rest of your life, and now that you're an adult, you're finding passion in all of these different areas. Some days you want to write, some days you want to paint, some days you want to cook, some days you want to make YouTube videos, and that all of it is like part of who you are. Almost like an artist doesn't have to just make one type of music anymore. It's almost uninteresting if every album is the same pop album over and over. An artist like Post Malone comes to mind, where he was making hip-hop music earlier in his career, or he was rapping over beats that he was getting on the internet, and then he kind of did like really straightforward pop music. And then recently he started working on country music. Same thing with Beyonce, going from pop and R&B music now into country music. I think the sky is the limit. If you have passions across genres, if you're a musician, or across different disciplines, if you're just a creative person in general, I think you should do that. You should do different things. Don't just pick one thing and do that every day. That's really boring, and you're not going to expose yourself to different ideas or ways, even by only picking one thing. And not, if you're a painter and you only paint every day, if you're not exposing yourself to cooking or to architecture or to reading, you're not going to get new, fresh ideas for your painting. I think being a well-rounded person and having all of these disciplines, they influence each other and they make each other stronger. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if that resonates with you. If you feel like coming into Right now I'm making this video at the beginning of 2025, but in 2026 and 2027, if you feel the same way, if you feel like you have this huge cupboard of ideas and passions that you want to pursue, and picking one thing is a little limiting, let me know.